Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mary Magi. I'm doing something that I'm not really used to doing, but I said that since I get so much support from you guys, that I would speak more and possibly start doing more lives and interacting with you all so I can, talk about things and possibly pop my shit. But I've been seeing a topic a lot lately here on TikTok about relationships and dealing with a narcissist. It seems like a lot of the good people or the good-hearted people seem like, they're getting the bad end of the stick. And I promised one of my followers that I would talk about two different types of empaths, because everyone thinks about being an empath as being a good-hearted person or a person that can feel things and would want to help you all the time, and that's not true. But there are two types of empaths in this world. One of the empaths is the one who knows and can sense things and that really cares, but they want to help you grow and heal, and then there's one who does the same thing, but they use your weaknesses to gain, to fuel their own energy or for their own good, and they discard you after that. We tend to think that all people with the gifts of discernment or that are empathetic are good-hearted, and they are not. They may have the ability to be good-hearted, but usually those people have not healed or have some types of traumas that they deal with on their own. And when we look around, we have to realize that everything we do from day to day is a spiritual transaction, or it is spiritual. Every encounter, everything we do, we must understand that we're always at war or at opposites with someone or something out there. I call it the tug of war. You go to the store, you may have someone staring at you and you're like, damn, what this person looking at? Or just, the cashier may be rude, or someone on your job may have a bad energy on them. It's constantly a spiritual thing, whether we want to know it or not. And we are fighting on three different spiritual planes, which are the mental, the spiritual, and the physical plane. So we're dealing with all of those and all of the principles that come along with it. And once we learn to apply those things, I think that it can help a lot of us on our journey from day to day. And going back to the topic of relationships, why are good people experiencing so many games, and, more people are just tending to learn to be alone and be content with themselves once they've healed? I'll try to break this thing down as good as I can. But in relationships and with dealing with people, you have a healed and an unhealed person. You have a player and a player who is not, a person who's not a player, should I say. But players, they don't go after people who are players themselves. They don't want to be treated, how they treat people. They want someone who, wants truth or wants monogamy. And like I said again, they see those wounds, or they'll get you to present the things that you've been through so they can learn. A lot of them are good listeners as well. They'll learn from you, and they'll use those things a lot of times to fuel themselves, to actually energy swap and exchange and take from you. And I always tell people, you can't drink pure blood from a tainted vessel. That's why dark empaths, players, they go for healed people or people who are healing to siphon or harvest that energy from. Some even try to swap positions with, that pure-blooded person or that pure-hearted person to take back to another person that they would feel more comfortable with, or who they are more comfortable with. A lot of times it could be two people working against you as well. It's a lot of things that we're dealing with, and a lot of darkness out here that we're not aware of a lot of times. And the good part is that the Most High usually sees this, and he'll let the good-hearted person learn a lesson a lot of times. A lot of us don't use our intuition. That I always tell people, that first voice that you hear, that first voice is usually the voice of God. That second voice, that's kind of like, I don't know. That's usually you trying to, distinguish, or give that person a second chance to, present themselves in a different manner. But the good part is the lesson is always learned in this. Usually for the good-hearted person, even for the person that's being the dark empath or the player, they learn the lesson as well. But the key to becoming a true spiritual alchemist, and I made my brand, y'all see this spiritual millionaire? That's exactly what I am, and I take pride in that. But the key to being a true spiritual alchemist is to transmute, not transfer energy. And that's something that I coined. Transmute, not transfer. And that's what a lot of people are doing out here. They're just transferring a lot of hurt and bad energy onto others because they don't want to do the work on themselves. They don't want to heal. They want to go around just in chaos doing what they do. And that's how we move to different levels in life, though, once we go through these things with those. And I always tell people, the ones that are out here healing and searching for knowledge and trying to learn from their mistakes, do not ever feel bad for anything that you've experienced or have gone through in life. There are always different levels to everything. There are different spiritual levels. There are different levels to learning. We have different class or ranks of beings that, reside in the heavens and in the atmospheres, as above, so below. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard of that. And, it's always a learning process. Even the person that may have realized that they're the one hurting other people, it's always something to learn from. And as long as you hear a voice of conviction, in your conscience, there's always room to change. A lot of people let ego get in their way of admitting things. A lot of people let ego stop them from even just apologizing to giving other people closure, but a lot of times the closure is not getting an apology. The closure can be just basically letting things be how they are. But learn to transmute and not transfer. I had to learn going through a lot of things in my life to take the pain that I have felt, from experiences with other people or just not getting the same in return. I took that and actually transmuted it and put that love into myself. Not that I've never loved myself. I've always been a person with boundaries and who's always taken care of myself and thought highly of myself. But the older I get, the slower I become, and not slow, but I slow down. You start to look at things a little different. You start to be more humble and more meek, but like I said before, I'm still a beast. But at the same time, I just learned to go at my own pace, and nobody is going to go at the same pace that other people go on. So don't try to look at what somebody else is doing. My favorite saying is there's no traffic in your own lane. But I love you guys, and I want you all to just heal. If you're going through something, I'm hoping that these little videos that I do could help you on your journey, because you guys definitely help me. The more you comment and the more, you support me, it drives me to take and, present, what I know to you all.